Welcome back to Arcane Eye Adventures, everybody. Thanks for the smiles, Chris and Russ. Charles, you're going to have to work on your smile. Today we're going to be playing some Spelljammer Academy adventures. We're playing the first adventure in the series, Orientation. There's going to be 4 that come out over the course of the next couple weeks. I think there's one releasing every week until August 2nd. We're going to be taking a quick break after this week just because I'm going to Europe, but we'll be right back on. I think it's August 7th is when we're going to continue playing, and it'll probably lead us right up to August 19th when Spelljammer's Adventure in Space drops, and we'll go straight from Spelljammer Academy straight to Spelljammer in Space, or Adventures in Space. So that'll be... We got a lot of Spelljammer coming up. And with Spelljammer comes Wacky Characters, and you guys have all done a great job making your wacky characters. So let's go ahead and introduce them, starting with Charles.
My name is Ralodan Stonesong. I am a Furbolg fighter.
Perfect. And Chris.
Yeah, my name is Monkton, and I am a Hadozi, which is like a winged monkey, and I happen to be a monk as well.
I feel like you should have went like the entire first session without saying the word monkey. Like, you know, you call yourself anything like primate, like primate, simian, like anything, just so you're like, oh, I wasn't even aware that monk and monkey started with the same 4-letter word.
Yeah, no, I guess it's just, and I'm called Monkton as well, so I guess I was just never set out to be subtle about it.
And then Russell.
Arcane Eye, everybody. I am Captain Plasmoid. I am a Plasmoid bard.
I would expect...
Would you like to know about plasmoids?
We've been inundated with plasmoid facts. We're also playing... so you may notice that we're playing with Spelljammer races before Spelljammer Adventures in Space came out. We're using the Unearthed Arcana version of these races, and we'll update them if necessary when Adventures in Space comes out. So just note there. Yeah, let's get into some Spelljammer, guys. I meant to send this before to prep you guys for the adventure, but I forgot, so I'll read it out to you guys now. I know, I was busy, okay. The background to this adventure. Welcome to Spelljammer Academy. Promising recruits are trained here under the tutelage of experienced Spelljammers who prepare fledgling spacefarers for perils of wild space and the astral sea. Cadets learn the finer points of ship-to-ship combat, space exploration, and in some cases, clandestine operations. The newest batch of recruits has just arrived after a long, arduous sea voyage, but there's still much to do. Although it's business as usual at Spelljammer Academy, the new cadets soon learn that something strange is afoot. And it's Captain Plasmoid's strange feet. His strange feet are afoot.
What's so strange about his feet?
The fact that he probably doesn't have it.
No honor.
Oh, that makes sense.
Um,
All coming together.
Okay, so let's dive right into the action. I'm going to need everybody to roll me initiative.
Oh, what?
Believe it or not, I wasn't prepared for this.
Oh, 21.
Captain Plasmoid was ready to go.
Captain Monkton was not, but I got... It's going to sound like bullshit, but I got 22. I got 19 plus 3 initiative.
I got a 3. I've got a +2 to initiative, so you can do the math there.
Good one.
Oh, nice nat 1. First one of the campaign.
Getting it out of the way early on in the session.
Yeah.
So
I can safely use this dice now.
You stand on the deck of your spelljamming ship Moon Raider, even as explosions obliterate 2 of the masts and hurl dozens of your fellow sailors into wild space. Distant stars and wheeling clouds of multicolored gas spin around you as the first pirate galleon slams into Moon Raider's starboard side, and a gust of foul wind washes over as the galleon's air envelope merges with your own. Seconds later, your vessel is boarded by astral reavers, humanoids possessed of strange features, waving cruel weapons and unleashing blasts of magic. Captain Sardax lies on the deck nearby, her body ruined by shrapnel. "Hold the top deck," she snarls with her dying breath. "Grant them no quarter." So you guys, if you go over to Roll20, and Chris, if you want to share your screen so the class can see it as well.
Can someone else who has multiple monitors be the screen sharer today? Because I am just one for this week.
Charles, are you able to do that?
I'm currently looking to try and do that.
Russ, you might need to give them you might need to give Charles admin privileges.
Done.
Perfect.
Let's try that again.
Perfect. And then if you want to get rid of your
now we know your email.
The video tiles, click on the hamburger menu, settings, audio and video. I can edit all this out.
I think we should keep the sort of high-looking picture of Charles.
Charles looks stoned as fuck in that picture.
It's a great picture of me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so this is the situation that you guys are presented with. You're on the foredeck of your spelljamming ship. There's battles waging all around you. 2 reavers have dropped onto the ship in front of you and are now menacingly walking towards you. These reavers look like humans, but the first one has fish-like features and needle-like teeth, and the second one has a burning beard and breath that reeks of booze. So they're definitely a bit weird looking. They're definitely looking hostile, and they're running towards you with swords. So the first person to go is Moncton. What would you like to do?
Shit. What's my assessment of these guys? Are they like? Well, no, that's a dumb question. I guess we're in combat.
They look pissed, and they look like they're running towards you with swords.
Okay. How far are they from me?
You can see in the map. We'll say that you're the blue one, and Charles is the orange one. I'm just assigning your characters now.
Okay.
So you can move you're the blue guy. You can move however you would like.
So yeah, I swing up on the flank, and is this fish face or the other one?
This is fish face.
All right, yeah. So yeah, I just come charging over and just do kind of like a 360 spin, and then come with the backhand of my quarterstaff.
Let's see if you actually hit. Go ahead and roll me the first attack roll of the campaign.
Ooh, 17.
17 definitely hits.
Then he's gonna take ultimate. So why is there one like? Sorry, Mike, you'll notice as a D&D Beyond expert. my quarterstaff, it says 1d6 plus 3, and then right below it says 1d8 plus 3.
So if you're wielding it with two hands, it does 1d8 plus
right.
3, which like you're totally fine to wield it with two hands unless you're like holding a shield.
In the theater of my mind during my description of that, it was a one-handed attack, but I'll keep that in mind for the future. So we'll just do a 1d6 plus 3. So that is a 6 total damage.
Cool. And then when you attack with a monk weapon, which you did, you can make one unarmed strike as a bonus action. So you can go ahead and do that if you would like.
Sure, let's do that. So yeah, I've come in, I've done like a 360 spin, and then just like landed like a perfect like backhand with my staff,
and like
and
needle like teeth and scales like fly to the side. He's just...
Good. The stench of fish just fills the air, and then I just take like one step forward with my left foot and just fucking nut him in the face.
Okay, go ahead and roll your unarmed strike.
That's a crit. So it's 20.
Shit. So for your stuff, an unarmed strike is 1d4 plus 3. So roll 2d4 plus 3.
That is 1. That is 3. So it's 4. So it's 7 headbutt damage to Mr. Fish.
You headbutt him in the head, and you hear his fragile fish-like bones crack, and his eyes just like ooze this like goo, and he just fucking collapses down. He is dead.
Cool. I just like, as a final free action, I spit on
him. Okay, roll me a d20, please.
That's a 15.
15. So as you finish your headbutt, you see from like the deck above you that an untended coil of rope just comes like swinging down, braced by with momentum from the collision that you guys had recently sustained. It captures you up, and you are.
I go.
Oh, so we're supposed to roll this at the beginning of your turns, but we'll just do this at the end of your turn. Until the end of your next turn, your movement speed is halved as you're caught up in this rope. Then the next one to go is Captain Plasmoid. Captain Plasmoid, before you do anything, please roll me a d20.
$13.
So an explosion rocks the ship. Each creature, so everybody, all of you guys must succeed in a dexterity saving throw or fall prone.
Shit, man.
6.
So you are prone.
3.
Question.
Yes.
Can I be prone?
Yes. Unless it says somewhere in your racial features that you cannot be knocked prone, you're prone.
I got a dirty 20.
Nice. So you're standing up.
I got the mega rolls so far today.
Maybe Moncton's your lucky shot. Cool. So you are prone. Standing up will take half your movement, although you're a bard, so I imagine that doesn't mean much. And it is your turn to.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm going to stand up.
Cool.
My movement. If I move the 15 feet that I'm looking at now, can I get within grappling distance of him?
What's your grapple? Like, do you have any? Can you grapple with your 10-foot appendage?
That's a good question. Yeah, my pseudopod.
Horrible question.
I'm not sure. I think it can hold things. I don't know if I can grapple with it. I was just looking to kind of just grapple him with my form.
Yeah, you would have to
general.
have a reach of 10 feet somehow. And unless it says it in your stat block, you only have 5 feet and you wouldn't be able to do that from here.
In that case, I will cast nothing. I'm just going to move up near him. No, I'm not. No, that's a terrible idea. I'm just going to stay here. I'm just going to wait until if he comes close to me, I'm going to try and grapple him.
Okay, cool. So you're preparing an action. Gotcha.
I'm preparing an action.
Then we have Ralodan. No, sorry. Yeah, we do have Ralodan.
Really? They have lower than a 3 on the initiative? Damn, okay.
They have been instructed to go last in this initiative. Probably because this is an introductory adventure, but you guys do get a little bit of a break that way. But roll me a d20 before your turn.
That's a 20.
That's a 20. So you see one of your allies on the upper deck shoots a crossbow at the Reaver and misses. So now you can continue with your turn.
Right on. Well, I'm going to spend half my movement to stand up.
Cool. And then
I am going to move 15 feet. And then I am going to, from 10 feet away, throw a hand axe at this man.
Cool. Just like run up to a guy and chuck a hand axe at his head. Love it.
I'd like to think that I'm not running, but I'm like, I get up and I just start walking towards him and I just throw one while I'm walking.
Serial killer shit.
All right, so let's see. How's this gonna go? An 8 to hit.
Misses.
Somehow, I think, yeah.
The axe clatters or like sticks itself into the wall behind this man. He's just like, what the fuck?
I correct, and it just goes right into the floor, like 3 feet in front of him.
Hooks on your hand a little bit. There's nothing else you can really do as a first level fighter.
No, that's the end of my turn.
You don't get your 4 attacks like you did in our last campaign.
I'm a level 1 character, not a level 20 character.
Yeah. Okay, so then the bandit, this one is the one with the flaming beard. Terrible kisser is going to run up to you.
Sorry, I would like to say as a bonus action on my turn, I'm going to turn invisible.
Oh, shit. Okay. So if
this lasts until the start of my next turn or until I attack, make a damage roll, or force someone to make a saving throw.
Okay, very nice. So then this guy is going to... I'm just seeing if he rolls at the beginning for... at the start of each character's turn, roll in the battle event, so he doesn't. What he is going to do, though, is pull up a light crossbow and shoot it at you, Moncton. As he sees that the dude that walked up and threw a hand axe at him turned invisible. He got an 8, so you're able to deftly dodge the bolt as it whizzes by your head. And that is the end of the initiative. We're back up to Moncton. Please roll me a d20.
That's about my lowest roll.
Wow. So, another Astral Reaver jumps onto the deck. This guy... Actually, who knows? No, this one's a girl. And she... has enormous nose and ears.
I was hoping for a better end to that sentence.
But yeah, it's your turn, Moncton.
Cool.
Your movement speed is halved, by the way, because you're tangled in ropes.
Yeah, it feels a bit annoying that the ropes would affect a flying monkey. I feel like I'd be able to handle some rope.
That
But I will...
that rope came out of nowhere, man.
Okay, so my speed is halved to what, three squares then?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I can still, I'm gonna help team up on this guy. I'm gonna 1, 2, 3 over here, and I'm gonna walk. As I'm walking towards the flaming beard one, I'm gonna be like, trouble with crossbows. They take too long to load. And spank him with my core staff.
You can't say that stuff now that we're uploading these to YouTube. We're gonna get copyright flagged on that.
No, that's fine. That's a totally original quote. I don't know what you mean. If that's from some sort of show like from HBO or something, then that's just mere coincidence.
No, HBO wouldn't go that way. Don't worry. Okay, what's the attack roll?
Shit, that's a 7.
So he just like deftly dodges after you deftly dodge him. Would you like to take your bonus action offhand?
Yeah. Might as well. So yeah, I swing a roundhouse kick at his face. Comes flying in with a 21.
Definitely hits. Roll damage.
That's 4 kick to the face damage.
4 kick to the face damage. Cool. Yeah, your foot passes through his flaming beard and seems to hurt him slightly. Captain Plasmoid.
Okay. I'm going to move up to the female Space Reaver. Is that what they're called?
Oh, roll me a d20 first.
It's Arsehole Reaver.
Okay.
So many things in this game are called astral, so this is going to get
tiresome. 10.
$1 in for a treat.
That's the one where you just get like a +5 hit points, right?
Yes. You get +5 hit points, then you're hit for 5 hit points. So you're still
good.
Net 0. And then another Reaver jumps onto the ship. This one is a man, but he has a giant goldfish bull head containing a floating brain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is there a goldfish in there as well?
No, just a brain. Actually, one sec. Just a brain.
Roll
Sorry.
for goldfish.
Roll for goldfish.
Roll.
All right. Well, I'm still going to go for the one without a goldfish bowl on the head.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to try and grapple her.
Okay. She will make an athletics check. And so will you.
Wait, do I add my strength or anything? Or
Yeah,
if I'm not proficient, that's true.
it's athletics. So that's your strength plus proficiency if you're proficient in it.
Not proficient. What's my strength plus? Oh, 0. Damn. 3.
7. So you guys weakly try to grapple each other. She's like, "Get off," and you're like, "No." Is that
I'm going to use my bonus action to get my pseudopod out.
Oh God. Okay, Raladan.
And I'm not. I don't think I can. No, I can do. Oh, maybe I can't do stuff with my pseudopod now. No, I think that's fine. I've got my pseudopod out.
Well, like if you want to do like a free action, like pick something up or put something down, you
I
can.
think that's part of my bonus action, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can extend a pseudopod, can manipulate things.
What
I
would
just
you
want
like?
to kind of get it. I just want to get it up in their business. Like, I just want it to be like around them. I want them to know.
She
I'm
she knows, and she's looking at it with abject horror. You can only see her eyes a little bit because of her giant nose and giant ears. They kind of like cover her eyes, but you can see them widen in terror. Raladan, it's your go.
So at the start of Raladin's turn, he's going to roll a d20.
Yes, thank you.
It's a 19.
19. That's got to be good. Okay, so the guy that shot at the Reaver before kind of just like curses under his breath, reloads his crossbow, and gives it another shot. 19 to hit, and that guy's going to take 5 damage. So after he gets kicked in the face by Moncton, he gets an arrow bolt in the back, and just coughs up blood and dies.
Oh, let's go. Okay, so on my turn, I'm gonna go and attack the guy with a fishbowl head.
Cool. So you're invisible as you approach him. I think when you
I think that it's the start of my turn.
Start of your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then you are not.
So I'm non-invisible. As soon as the guy drops, I become visible again.
Cool.
And I turn and I run over to this
Cool.
guy.
And
I'm going
that you
to
get this attack with advantage, but you do not.
I do not indeed. I am going to, like, as I'm coming over, like unhand, like
sheathing
scabbard sheath or whatever, my great axe. There's not really a sheath for a great axe. I'm trying to figure out what the proper term there is.
Taking it off your back, maybe.
Take it off my back, and I try to just bring it straight down on the fishbowl.
Perfect.
And that is going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Okay, we're going to be starting to roll some d12.
Ooh, very nice. Not
D12
as optimized as 2d6s, but I would say it's more hype.
It's more character thematic, appropriate for me to have an axe. And that's going to be 7 damage.
7 damage. Okay, you swing it down. He brings up his sword. You manage to bypass it, and big crack left in the fishbowl.
Okay. That's the
end of your turn.
End of my turn.
Cool. So then this first bandit is going to take a scimitar slash at Captain Plasmoid. That is a 13 to hit. Time to find out everybody's AC. 13 to hit you, Captain Plasmoid.
Yeah, it does.
Captain Plasmoid did say that they are not wearing any equipment, so you brought this on yourself. 4 damage.
Ow.
And then Fishbowl Bandit is going to take a scimitar attack at you, Raladan. Oh shit, they crit. Fuck. Okay, so that is going to be 2d6 plus 1. That is 8 damage.
8 damage. All right.
A lot of damage. But so as you are, you kind of devoted all of your striking, you didn't worry about defense at all. You're trying to end this fight in one hit. You get cut across the side quite badly as this guy counterattacks. And then you see around you a thunderous explosion shakes the ship, filling the air with splinters of wood. Bodies are hurled into wild space, and then everything stops. Wreckage hangs motionless. Reavers freeze in the middle of their attacks. Even the stars stop twinkling. The illusion of wild space melts away, and you find yourselves in one of the magical chambers of the simulations deck, your memories slowly fitting back into place. You recall being warned that your first experience of a wild space simulation would be disorienting, to test your ability to function under pressure. A hulking figure emerges from the center of the explosion, a Hadozi with a missing wing flap wearing a military uniform bristling with medals. The air around her smells like cigar smoke. As you can see, Boatswain Tarto growls. The Battle of Hekath didn't go so well for Captain Sardax and her crew, but her last battle makes a good testing grounds for new recruits. End simulation. So as the simulation drops around you, everything dissolves. You see that you're just in this like plain gray room. You can see that there's a number of other recruits kind of like lined up at the wall, and you guys are just standing there. Your head's reeling. It's kind of like when you're like playing virtual reality, but you're not accustomed to it, and then you take your goggles off and you feel like you want to puke. This is kind of how you feel right now, just a bit dizzy and nauseous. And your memories are starting to come back. You know, when you were in the simulation, you didn't really know where you were, or who you were. You just knew that you were in that situation. But you now know that you arrived this morning on Belligerence, a chartered galley out of Waterdeep, which picked up passengers and crew in the Moonshae Isles, Baldur's Gate, Candlekeep, and Port Nyanzaru. You've come to seek fortune and glory at the Spelljammer Academy, a secret enclave of spellcasters and swords for hire on the mysterious Isle of Nimbral. Graduates from the Academy join the Spelljammer Fleet, a magical navy sworn to protect Toril and explore worlds far beyond. The Academy is carved into a 2,000-high column of rock that juts up from the cliffs of the island's west coast, its multiple levels connected by stairs, ramps, and magical lifts. After docking in a sea cave at the base of the column, you march to the simulations deck midway up the Academy spire. Your metal has been tested, and now it's time to settle in. So, you guys, as you guys are kind of like stumbling back to the wall and more recruits are stepping up to join the simulation, you can see as you're standing by the wall and you're not in the simulation, you're just watching it, that the simulation is kind of transparent. You're able to see through it, but the people in the simulation obviously are not. They're fighting for their lives against Reavers again. But the boatswain comes up and hands you this, and it is a handout of, it's a map of the Spelljammer Academy. And as
Awesome.
she kind of looks you guys over and she's like, honestly, I've seen better. Plasmoid. I'm not sure why you were trying to just grab stuff the entire encounter, but, you know, these things don't want to dance with you. They want to kill you. Moncton, I love your ferocity.
You just wait and find out.
She kind of like glances over at you and appreciates that you're standing up for herself. So she just kind of like puffs her cigar pensively and then looks back to Moncton and says, I like your tenacity. I like that you came at those things with everything you got. You keep up with that, you're going to do well here. And then she looks at Raladan and she says, I like that little trick you pulled with the invisibility. That's going to help when it comes to avoiding stuff and sneaking in places. You keep up stuff like that, you're going to be doing pretty well here.
Thanks.
She then hands you a second sheet of paper. And she says, you've got to complete a couple orientation tasks before the day's out. I'm going to be here in the simulations deck if you ever need to come back and ask me questions. But, yeah, follow the steps on this sheet and go explore around, get yourself settled, and we're going to be running some more simulations later. So the sheet that she hands you,
Yes, sir.
is right here. We'll just take a look at it there on the screen, but I'm also going to send this to you guys because it should be referenced, and I don't want to keep on switching back between the map and so I'm sending it in Google Chat, but this is what you guys are instructed to do. So you guys have kind of been paired as a group. You've been giving this orientation task list to complete together. From your initial orientation, Moncton, you were sorted into Spelljammer Corps, which means that you're going to be, muscle on these expeditions in the future, and that you won't be a Spelljammer because Spelljammers have to be magic users. So both Captain Plasmoid and Raladan had expressed interest in being Spelljammers. These are the ones that will wear the Spelljamming helm and navigate the ships for the crew. Raladan, this is something that you imagine you'll have to migrate into further down your journeys if you plan on continuing being an Eldritch Knight, because you need to be able to cast spells in order to be a Spelljammer.
Yep.
Captain Plasmoid, you are going to be a Spelljammer for sure, so you're going to do the Spelljammer Cadets section of this orientation. Oh, and I've seen a chat that says Boatswain is pronounced Bosun. So
Bosun.
So I apologize for how in the world could that ever be pronounced Bosun?
I know, right? I actually only found that out recently, which is the only reason when you said it, I was like, oh, I just myself learned that is not how that word's pronounced.
Okay, so that person's name is Bosun, not Boatswain. Look at me.
Yeah.
Like there's a few different ways of pronouncing it, but spelling it, I should say.
I reckon boat people just made that up so that they can laugh at the commoners who don't know their boat language.
So you guys, you're leafing through so you got the map, your orientation tasks, and then the last handout reads, warning, due to recent threats, security checkpoints are in operation throughout the campus. Failure to stop when challenged will result in disintegration. You have seen a number of guards wearing full Spelljammer Corps or Spelljammer Academy garb, and this place is run mostly like a military camp. So you imagine that they are not joking when they say that you will be disintegrated.
Oh, but we just imagine, we haven't seen anyone get disintegrated yet.
Not yet,
Yeah.
but you certainly might.
Okay.
So what are you guys doing? You're standing in the training room. Another group of cadets is going through the same simulation you did. It seems like Bosun has left you guys to your own devices.
Right at the beginning of the campaign, in the kind of intro text, you said that like something was afoot. Was that just in reference to the simulation we were entering, or is that or do I still have that like sense of dread about the academy?
You do not have a sense of dread right now. Nothing is afoot currently.
Okay.
I'm realizing now that part probably shouldn't be in the introduction that you're meant to send your players.
I was just double checking because I try to pay attention to that kind of stuff. In case it matters, but if it doesn't, that's great.
Look at you
and then
remembering stuff, Chris. Good job.
And then the orientation tasks, I assume they can be completed in like any order. Like if we wanted to like jump straight to the assault course or whatever, like.
You haven't been instructed in any way, so it's totally up to you to decide what you want to do.
And is it just the three of us? Is there no one else in our like orientation group?
There are a number of new cadets, but you can see that they're still lined up on the wall waiting for their turn in the simulation.
Let's get out of here. I'm looking at this map right here. We're on the simulations deck right now. We need to go to administration to get our welcome pack. We need to go to our quarters for bunk assignment. I feel like maybe we should just head to the bottom to go to administration first, and then we can just make our way back up.
All right.
the way.
I wonder if there's food in these administration packs.
Uh, was that a question for your party or for me?
I don't know.
I
I'm
haven't
just a-
absorbed anything in a good 30 minutes.
Is that a long time for you? I'm
Ages.
walking at this point. Like we're moving our way. Well, let's go find out, right?
I am oozing behind them.
Okay. So you guys walk down a couple flights of stairs. You can hear as you walk down one flight that you're you can hear like whistles blowing and what seems like footsteps stomping. You can then I'm just okay, and then you walk down a couple more.
Sorry.
No, please.
I just on the way down, I would like to say hello and introduce myself to everybody that I see. Hello, how are you? I'm Captain Plasmoid.
So
good day. How are you, Captain Plasmoid?
As you, it's funny. You see a halfling cadet kind of like run past you, and you're like, "Hello, I am Captain Plasmoid," and they kind of like look back at you in just surprised. They're kind of shocked that you're talking to them when they obviously look like they're in a rush, and they bump into a pair of Plasmoid cadets, and they get partially stuck in one of them. And he's like just kind of like stuck and just being like, "Yo, what the? Oh God!" Are you doing anything to help, or are you just gonna like continue walking and introducing?
Wait, where did you come from?
So you can see
Plasmoid.
one of the second Plasmoid is helping pull this halfling out, and they turn and look to you, and they say, "Oh, from up in wild space. Why?"
I've been trying to find out why I'm here, who I am, and now I see you, someone like me. I thought I was one of a kind. This is quite strange.
Plasmoids are quite uncommon in the Forgotten Realms, but once you get your accreditations and you join the Spelljammer Academy, you will find many of our kind are off this planet and spend plenty of our time in politics, eating food, and talking to people constantly.
I could keep talking right now. Do you know if there's any food?
There is food in, I believe it is called the mess hall. I'm looking it up now. Where would that be? Yes, it is in the cadet quarters. Once you have gained your administrative garb, you will be able to go to the cadet quarters and absorb as much sustenance as you would like.
Quick question. What are the stairs made of that we're going down right now?
The stairs are made of rock. I'm assuming that was in character.
No, that was to the DM, but you answered as a plasmoid, so that's fine.
Our DM is a plasmoid.
I wish them good day. I tell them to plas on, and I continue with my group.
You do your secret appendage handshake. And then
no,
and then so the second or the second plasmoid has managed to pull the halfling out of his first plasmoid friend, and they kind of just like give you a nod and squelch on past you, whereas the halfling is just kind of like looking down at his uniform that's just covered in slime right now and is like wiping it off and kind of gives you a bit of a dirty look, I would say, as you squelch on past. Okay, so
they seem nice.
So you guys head down to the administration level. You can see as you walk down the steps that it's kind of just like a reception room that you have walked into. There is a 3-creen behind the desk, so an insect woman with 2 primary appendage or arms that she's using to like sort files and like answer a stone that she talks into and is like, okay, I'll send them up right away, and then hangs that up and is like sorting files with her other 2 appendages. And as you approach, she says, "Oh yes, you must be the new recruits. Please give me 1 second." And files a couple more things, and then reaches behind her with her 2 appendages, grabs a couple. It just looks like uniforms with like a hat on it, and then hands it over to you. And you can see that all 3 of you have received a red level cadet uniform plus a spare, so 2 pieces of clothing, and a toiletry bag. A 50 gold piece requisition voucher to spend at the Academy stores. So something that you can claim later in the adventure. And then a blue level security helmet for visiting the Sky Dock during orientation. And she hands each of these things to you, 1 in each hand, and one hand is still like sorting papers and like clacking on a speaking stone. And then she says, if you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer you, but I must get back to my work. And then she just turns around and continues her flurry of movement.
Okay. 1 thing, check off the list.
I'm going to absorb on my pack a little bit just to see if any of it is nourishing.
Absorb on your so you've been handed 2 pieces of clothing and a toiletries bag and a voucher and a helmet. Which would you like to absorb?
I'll give the toiletries a little go.
You get a little bit of nourishment from the toothpaste as the tube kind of like dissolves in you, and then there's like a little bit of like minty freshness that you feel coursing through. It just feels cold where you've absorbed it.
Perfect.
Perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. So then you guys head up to the after grabbing your gear, you head up to the cadet quarters. You can see that there are this is more of like a bustling area than administration. Administration was kind of like empty except for the 3-creen lady, and you can see that most of the people here are wearing different color uniforms, although there are certainly a fair few wearing the same red color cadet uniform that you are. You see that this area contains a lot of things that you can go check out. There's like a dormitory where you can claim a bed. There's a kitchen where you can go eat. There's a grad dorm, which it seems like people with only different color uniforms are walking in and out of. And then there's also a washrooms. Oh, and there's a tavern that you can like smell the smell of cooking meat and hear the somewhat raucous raised voices. So what are you guys choosing to do?
You had me at kitchen.
So Captain Plasmoid is squelching off towards the kitchen. What are Raladan and Moncton doing?
Moncton kind of calls over to as like Captain Plasmoid heads towards the kitchen. What's Moncton sound like? Moncton's just like, "Hey, Captain Plasmoid, why don't we go check out the bar instead?"
That was so unexpected.
I do like it though. It's not just I've
done all of the English accents. I was like, should he be Northern? And I was like, no, that's that. I can't do a Northern monkey. That would be taking the piss too much.
No, that sounds like a smart idea, Moncton.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's food there, and we head off to the tavern.
Raladan.
Paladin sounds that sounds like a good idea. Like
Okay.
he's hungry. Sure, let's go.
Okay,
He could eat.
cool. I always pegged Raladan. I'm not sure why, but I pegged him as kind of like goody two shoe rule follower. Would you say that's the case or not? That this is just an impression that I'm getting from Raladan.
I think he appreciates the necessity of authority and like for order and stuff like that, but ultimately would want to follow his own path if he could. So
Right. So
he's
a bit of a wild child, but understands the natural order.
yeah, he'll fall in step in like he knows what comes of not falling in step in a military situation.
Cool.
Like,
so you guys head off to you kind of come down or come up the stairs, take a look around. Moncton grabs Captain Plasmoid as he's about to walk off to the kitchen, and you go down the hallway and into the Weeping Goddess Tavern. You can see that this is it kind of looks like a mess hall with a bar at the end. This isn't like oak tables and like particularly good atmosphere. It's the lights are still a bit bright. The floors are still just like gray polished stone. The tables are just like this like stainless steel material. But you can see that there is a hippopotamus man behind the bar that is filling up mugs full of beer and like sliding them to all manner of cadets. You don't see any other cadets wearing red uniforms in here.
Okay. Well, I think that Moncton will at least approach the hippopotamus.
He's a hippie. So you guys are currently carrying your administrate the clothes and stuff that you got from administration, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. So you guys.
Oh yeah, don't we need to do like bunk assignments while we're at the quarters?
Too late. You guys walk up to the bar, just carrying your clothes and such, and the GIF man is filling up a mug full of ale, and he looks over amusedly at you guys, and he's like, "Oh, I like to see this. Couple of fresh new cadets come in for a drink before they even settle their bunks," and then you can see the other people at the bar just like ha, ha, and like kind of like raise their glasses off to you, and he's like, "You know what?
Thank you very much. I'm Captain Plasmoid."
Well, Captain Plasmoid, it's nice to meet you. The Moncton and Raladan, who understand that Captain Plasmoid is a bit strange in comparison to everybody else, sees that this GIF obviously has experience dealing with plasmoids and know that they're just way too overly friendly. So he's like, "The first beer at Spelljammer Academy is on the house," and just pours up 3 ales for you, clashes them on the table, and says, I drink those up quick. As the other cadets start finishing the orientation simulation, they're going to be claiming the best bunks, so you guys are going to want to drink up and get going."
very well. Raladin sort of approaches the bar, ambling pace. He doesn't look like he's in a rush. Picks up the brew from the bar, raises it to his lips, and just starts drinking and drinking. Drinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna
finishes it and
follow
puts
suit.
it back on the bar.
I'll step up and try and chug mine.
Actually, you know what?
relatively
If
quickly.
both of you guys are just like going for the chug, I'll say roll me con checks.
Okay. That's
Is
a
this
22. Is this a saving throw or
No,
is this
just a check, just straight up Constitution check.
then that's a 20, dirty 20.
Dang, that's a 2.
So Raladan just like absolutely bodies his, crushes the whole thing. Moncton, you kind of like look over at Raladin and it's like, oh, like we're actually hurrying along, and you chug like twice, and then a bit of it gets down your windpipe, and you cough into the mug, you know, splattering a little bit on your chest and into the mug, and
I just start going.
You know, the gift bartender claps you on the back, and it's just like, I appreciate the expedited drinking here, gents, but let's try to keep it a little bit less messy. Captain Plasmoid, how are you imbibing?
Moncton, can you put my beer down here on the floor?
Sure, friend. I'll pick it up and I stick it on the floor.
I'm just gonna kind of just absorb around it and just ingest it.
So as you dissolve this mug and drink, the GIF bartender looks at you with just like
to absorb the glass.
You don't absorb the glass. It's a wooden tankard.
I would not be able to. Is a wooden tankard? Oh, in that case, gone. Yeah.
So he looks at you a bit indignantly, and obviously, you know, this guy's dealt with plasmoids before and understands that they don't really think about these things. And he's like, in the future, if you could just, you know, dump the beer on yourself so that you absorb it and then pass back the glass, or the mug, it'd be really appreciated.
That's the best bit. Would you eat the ice cream and throw away the cone?
He pauses, and it's just like, you know what? That's actually fair. To each their own. I will have to charge you for a full mug and the beer inside of it next time, though.
I'm sorry, I have no money.
He said next.
He said next time.
You also have that 50 gold piece voucher there. So if you want to blow that all on booze and tankards, feel free. But until you got money to pay for the beer and the tankards, you guys better get going.
How much is the beer in a tankard?
Beer in a tankard, like a beer would probably be 1 GP, so a beer in a tankard would be 5.
Thank you very much.
He gives you guys a nod, continues to wipe down the counter, and there we're going to take a quick little break as we are rounding the hour mark. So everybody go get a drink and everything, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. Everybody smile. You guys have just got back from, or have just exited the tavern that is on the cadet quarters called the Weeping Goddess, and you walk out of the tavern and into the dormitory, and you can see that each of your you can see that there are a couple cadets milling around a wall, and there's a sheet that has your name and your bunk assignment next to it. So you can see that there is there's kind of like a foot locker at the end of each of these bunks that you'll be using to store your stuff in. It's a very Spartan room. You know, these are just like single beds, thin looking mattress and pillow, plain white coverings. And as you guys go over to the wall to check out your assignments, I want everybody to roll me a d20.
Just straight up.
There was a foot locker at the end.
There is a foot locker at the end.
Yeah, really tiny little store at the foot of your bed.
Yeah, there's a shoe shop. What did you say after, Russ? Sorry.
I was asking if there are any other shops in there. That was the same joke on a massive lack.
What everybody get?
12. Is it straight up and down?
Yeah, straight up and down. 12. Moncton got
12 as well.
12 as well.
Oh.
Captain
16.
Got a what?
16.
16.
Okay. This is actually how I was hoping it would go down. Yeah, Reladon and Moncton, you guys have fairly inconspicuous bunks. You know, they're just kind of like set in the middle of the room. Nothing particularly special about it. But Captain Plasmoid, your bunk is next to a window, and you can see the sea air drifts in and rustles the sheets. Rustles the sheets. Because your name is Russell. Yeah, it's just like you can imagine that this dormitory will get quite ripe. So having an airy bunk is always a luxury. So what are you guys doing now?
I'm gonna like change into the uniform that I'd been given.
Okay.
And put the rest of my stuff here, unless like, what should I?
You've seen
like,
people carrying around weapons and stuff. Like
okay, cool.
This place is full of adventurers, so you're fine.
Okay, cool. I'll keep my weapons on me. And would I be able to like put my chainmail back on over the?
We'll say
or underneath the. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That sounds good.
Moncton, just throwing your stuff down by your bunk. Down by your bunkton.
Yeah, I was just about to say to throw it on my bunkton. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I was under the impression I was already wearing my like we already put our red jumpsuit type things
No,
on.
red jumpsuits you were handed, and then you walked straight up here.
Okay, cool. All right. Well then, yeah, I guess I'll throw mine on, and then yeah.
Cool. You can see that yours even has like little slits for your arm wings, arm flaps.
Oh, cool. I noticed that and go, oh, how thoughtful. And then what's next? Isn't it something at the sky dock or something?
So
let's go after
Captain Plasmoid walks over to his bunk and drops his stuff off. A confident-looking moon elf hurls her kit bag onto the bunk, just like right before you set your stuff down, and she says, "Change of plan, Greenie. This bunk's mine now."
Who did they do that to?
To you, Captain Plasmoid.
No, I think you'll find if you consult the list. I was assigned to this bunk.
You see that 3 other cadets kind of like walk up behind her, all just, kind of like beefy meatheads. And she's like, "No, I think that if you go and check that list, that your bunk is over there." And she points to a bunk that's like off by a noisy, stinky washroom.
I look at what she's pointing at, obviously. Sorry, you're pointing at your mum's house? Why? Why would I be there?
You see she clenches her fist and she says, "You got one more chance to get over there, ooze boy, or we're gonna pound you flat."
Look, I think most things like this can be solved with a hug. And I'm going to form into a humanoid shape and just put my arms out.
Okay, I want everybody to roll initiative.
Yes. Okay. It's cocked.
So 15 for Moncton.
17
That's
for
a
Raleigh.
70 plasmoid.
Nice. Hey, what's your dexterity? Captain Plasmoid, because I also have a 17.
Oh, +2.
Same.
14.
Same. Okay, you go first. This is your combat situation, so that it makes sense that you'd go before me here.
Okay, so
Okay.
sorry, there was 17 for Captain Plasmoid. Actually, one sec. I'm going to restart this encounter. So Captain Plasmoid got a 17, Moncton got a 15, and then Raladan got a 17, and then the bandits got a... Okay. Cool. So Captain Plasmoid, I'm going to say this first round of initiative is you and the Moon Elf. So I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you knew you were antagonizing her, and going for the hug was kind of like this way to antagonize her a bit further. So you see that like her clenched fist is coming back and is looking to deliver a blow into your amorphous form. So what are you doing?
What is her expression like?
She's furious.
What
She did not like that your mom's house comment.
is she yelling or anything? Like,
sorry, is she sweating?
Is she yelling? At me or
snarling,
like...
I would say.
I'm gonna try and grapple her.
Of course. Go ahead and...
So you hug her.
Yeah. So I'm going to continue with my hug.
Come on!
Roll me a strength check. You play the most ridiculous characters, Russ.
I hope I succeed. I really try to tread the line between fun and annoying. Fuck. My dice seem to be like rolling really good and then just tipping over at the last
Well,
minute.
she rolled a 5, so your 9
I rolled
succeeds.
a 9. I grapple her in my hug and I say, would you like to know something about plasmoids?
God. And she's like, get off of me.
We secrete our excrement through pores all over our skin. As I hug her.
Make me an intimidation check.
I just want to say that is true.
I don't doubt
I
you.
fully believe you.
I now know what you've been going for this whole time.
Intimidation.
With advantage.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
With advantage.
Okay, well, that's... lucky, because that was a critical fail.
You play the funniest characters, but you also roll worse than anybody I've ever met.
16.
15 or 16?
16.
16. You see that she is like, you can't see her face because you're wrapped around her in an embrace, but Raladan and Moncton, you see her eyes go wide, and she's going to try to break this grapple and run. And just like get away from you, get out of this situation. She doesn't want to fight anymore. She is fucking creeped out by you. Are you allowing her to break this grapple, or are you going to try to maintain it? Okay, so roll me the opposed athletics check.
19.
So she tries to break away, and like you can tell she's trying to do this without touching you. Like she doesn't want to like get her arms in and like push against you. She's just trying to like squirm out, and then she's like, "Get the fuck off me!" And actually, no, she can't take an attack because she tried to break the grapple. So we're back up at the top of the initiative. Captain Plasmoid, it is your go. You have this woman grappled. You can tell she's trying to break her grapple. As she wasn't able to get away, you can now tell that she's started to struggle less, and she's just gonna try to punch you now. And you can see that her posse is kind of coming into this as well.
So there's definitely still trying to fight. Like I haven't bested her entirely. Okay.
I would say that at this point, seeing as nothing else has happened, you would understand that if you released her, that you could avoid like a fist fight or a tentacle fight.
What about the other two? Do they seem like they're still coming for it?
Raladan and Moncton, or the other guys?
No, the other two guys.
You imagine that they follow exactly what their leader tells them to do.
Um, I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna release my embrace.
Okay, so yeah, you can tell that she like is like leaning back for a punch. You release the embrace, and she kind of like stumbles back, not expecting to be released. And she's like, "Oh my god, that thing is so fucking gross," and just like is like wiping her body off. And you know she turns back, or she kind of like turns around in a huff and looks back to you, and it's just like, "You're dead for that."
That's hey, why don't you go clean up at your mom's house?
Um, she's just storming off. You can see that you looking around the bunk room has gone quiet and was watching this occur. And you can tell that like people are like laughing at this moon elf chick behind her back. Like you came out looking way better than she did there.
That's good.
So you guys have reported to the quarters for bunk assignment. That is a big check. So you can continue on with your orientation tasks.
Hey guys, why were they so unfriendly? Why doesn't everybody just get along?
I'm not sure. I think she was a little racist, if I'm honest with you. She just seemed to have a problem with your kind.
But I just want to know everybody, and I don't even really know my own kind. I like to be kind.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that kind of kind.
I'm kind of confused.
So you guys discuss the finer points of what the fuck just happened with Captain Plasmoid as you report to the Skydock for spelljamming ship inspection. Unless you want to do something else on the list.
No, that was what I was intending to head to.
Okay. So the Skydock is up a couple of levels. It's actually up at the very top of the tower. You guys walk up, several flights of stairs to get you there. And then Moncton, roll me a D8.
That is a 5.
5. So as you guys are walking through the different like levels and corridors of this place, you see a manacled illithid or mind flayer passes by on a gurney pushed by fleet officers. The mind flayer wears an iron mask with bands restraining its facial tentacles, and you can see that they're just kind of like walking by like this is no big deal, but kind of shows you the level of people that you're dealing with here, that some of them were able to wrangle a mind flayer. You guys continue your way up to the top of the tower, where you see a number of spelljamming ships docked here. You can see that this is kind of like a cavernous area that it's spanning the entire width from like there's no rooms here. It's just this big dock area that has a bunch of ships located there. And you can see that there are a couple gnomes that are just walking around. Some are performing certain tasks on ships. Some are talking amongst each other. The two gnome officers walk up to you, and they kind of approach your party, and they're like, "Okay, so we've got some new cadets here. You've got your proper uniform on and your blue security helmets. Actually, where are your blue security helmets?" And I'm imagining that you guys are all just kind of like carrying them along, and then they're like, "Okay, when you come up to the Skydock, any place that has a blue security symbol, that's the Skydock here mainly, you're going to be wanting to wear those helmets, or else our security system might catch you and unfortunately disintegrate you. It's happened before to a couple cadets, but I imagine that if you keep those helmets on, you should be fine." We're now going to look at the basic operation of a spell jamming vessel, and we're going to go over a bit of instruction on how this equipment should be handled. So I want you guys to make me perception checks as these two gnomes lead you over to a spelljammer ship and just begin like rattling off instructions, and you guys are like completely overwhelmed by what they're saying and kind of glancing around this area.
Got
I
a
am not
22.
so overwhelmed because I got a dirty 20.
I'm completely overwhelmed and fascinated by all of this. I'm wondering whether the gnomes are food. I'm wondering whether anything else is. I'm assuming it's quite visually stimulating in here, and I rolled a natural one.
So Raladan, you see on a nearby dock a Hobgoblin Academy officer is supervising the unloading of a merchant ship, and you can see that they surreptitiously slip the merchant a platinum piece, and in return the merchant hands the Hobgoblin a small bottle which the officer conceals in his pocket.
Okay.
And the gnomes continue on, and just, they take about 10 to 15 minutes, and they're just explaining how a spelljammer ship is built and how it functions. And I'm trying to remember this because it doesn't exactly tell you in this adventure, and we're probably going to get more into the mechanics of how spelljammer ships work in the future, but essentially these look like naval galleons that you would be able to sail on the sea, but they have like wings hanging off of them as well as sails, and the goblins say that the ships are controlled by a spelljammer using a spelljammer helm, and the helm allows the spelljammer to control the ship with their mind, flying it through atmosphere up until wild space, and then if you travel far enough in wild space to the astral sea. The astral sea is kind of like it's the astral plane. So it's a different plane from the material plane, but it can be accessed by flying into the wild space that surrounds a planet and continuing away and farther away from the center of the system.
Okay.
And so you guys are just being absolutely inundated with information. Raladan, are you doing anything about what you saw, or are you going to keep that to yourself?
Can I tell if that officer is outranked by anybody currently here on the Skydock?
You can tell that they're outranked by the two gnome officers that you're talking to. You can see that, they have like insignia, like little symbols that show their rank, and Kip and Pick, the gnome instructors that you have, are higher than this hobgoblin.
Okay. I'm going to wait until they're done with their presentation and see if I can find a moment to talk to them more quietly.
Okay. So they eventually come to a close, and it's just like an abrupt stop. They're like, okay, and yeah, when you travel past when you travel farther away from the center of a wild space system, then you'll eventually reach the astral plane. Are there any questions?
Yeah, is this going to be all theory, or are we going to do some actual flying?
Well, the flying isn't till after you have passed a number of orientation checkpoints, simulations, and that kind of thing. These ships are extraordinarily dangerous to use, but probably tomorrow you'll be doing a bit of flying in a simulation spelljammer ship.
And you said something about asshole pain. What can I do to avoid that?
Um, he, he looks at you blankly, uh, and is just like, oh, you meant the astral plane.
Yeah, the asshole plane.
I'd like to try and catch the attention of the other gnomish officer while this interaction is happening, and like,
cool. So
see if I can step
you can tell
aside.
that Kip hasn't really caught on to the joke and is just like, yeah, the astral plane is a realm of thought and dream that astral manifestations of, and just like fucking rambles on.
You just hear Moncton just go, asshole manifestation.
And Pick has kind of like wandered off from this and is like back working on the ship.
I'd like to approach Pick.
Okay. And they're like, hey, what can I do for you, cadet?
Excuse me, sir. I don't know if if this is anything I should be saying anything about, but I noticed that hobgoblin officer, he exchanged a piece of platinum for a bottle of something from that merchant. It seemed like it was a illicit trade. I don't know. I thought I should tell somebody.
Well, I appreciate you bringing this to me. And you can see that like he storms off in the direction of this hobgoblin and like begins like hands on his hips, begins like talking to him, and like points back at you.
I immediately duck. Like I can I hide? Can
make me a stealth check contested by his perception.
I have disadvantage on this. I have disadvantage because I kept my chainmail on. Why did I keep my chainmail on? Oh, those are honestly not so bad. Okay, 14.
So this guy got a 15. Rolled a 13 plus 2, and you see he like looks over at you right as before you duck down, and then as you peek out from between the barrels, you can see he opens his jacket and hands over this bottle, and you can see that. Pick kind of like
snitch.
Pick kind of gives him like another stern talking to as he grabs the bottle, then walks back to you, and he's like, "Thank you for reporting that, cadet. That man's name is Brywar, and he has been known to he's been known to smuggle in fine rum, and he allows he avoids bringing these things in through customs because it's quite expensive and sometimes illegal, the things that he brings in. But yes, when a sailor does a particularly good job, he allows the sailor to drink from these fine whiskeys and rums that he brings in. So he's actually quite a good upstanding member among the cadets and the sailors, but among us officers, he's nothing more than a rule breaker, which you certainly are not, and we appreciate that.
Savage.
Raladan is just like on, like fetal position against like a crate, just being like, I'm a snitch. Oh no, I'm a snitch. Oh, what have I done?
And as that's happening, Kip is ending his further
just panning
rant.
back, just being like, asshole pain.
And Kip is like, yes, that's all I have to tell you about the astral plane, and now I've got to get back to my work. And he just kind of turns away, and does not realize that you were making fun of him that whole time.
So the training on the sky dock is over, right?
Yeah. So that orientation is done.
I think at this point, like, the other guys start to notice like Moncton's getting kind of excited. He's like kind of like nudging them like with his elbow and just going like, ooh, ooh.
You know,
And he's like stepping like closer to the edge of the top of the whatever the fuck you would call that, stalagmite, but backwards.
Stalactite.
Can we see out there?
um I'm like peering over the edge, like down towards the water on the bottom, and I'm like looking back at the others, and I'm like, oh, oh, oh. And then I just like before you know it, I've just like fucking jumped off, and like, you know, like the squirrels with wings on the nature documentaries. That's me, but like human sized.
So, as Moncton glides down, Raladan is just like red in the face and just like absolutely distraught that he's just got himself the name of a snitch. Captain Plasmoid, are you following your friends down the to the ground level of the skydock?
Didn't Moncton just jump off the entire thing?
Yeah.
Oh, you've
I'm
got
not
up to the
following
top
him.
here, and you have. I thought that you were like standing on like one of these raised docks and like jumped off, but you've gotten up to this.
No, I thought my understanding was that we were on the sky dock, which is right on top of the whole thing, and I got really excited when I realized there was like open air around us and I could see all the way down. And you guys, I think, are heading somewhere different to me. I'm heading to the stores to go and find Mr. Blip about my corpse cadet stuff.
I love it. So,
So I'm like I'm gliding all the way down.
Yeah, glides down,
like
catching the sea
circling
breeze as he makes his way down. Looking in windows and seeing people look out at you, birds flying by, and you eventually get down to the I think the stores are located on the administration level.
Right at the bottom there, yeah. And then I use my reaction to reduce my full damage to 0.
There you go. So your service weaponry, you approach the counter here, and you see that there is a small figure, gnome-like, but a robot.
I look at the robot and I say, "Yeah, I'm Mr. Blip by any chance?"
Yes, I am Mr. Blip. What can I help you with?
I'm new recruit in the Corps Cadets. I was told to head down here as part of my orientation.
Very good. Would you like to buy any weaponry or any equipment, or do you have what you need? If you have what you need, you can keep your 50 gold piece requisition voucher for future purchases.
Well, I believe I'm well equipped in the weapon department, but I mean, what kind of price am I looking at if I wanted to pick up some light armor or something like that?
Light armor. Well, we have padded leather and studded armor. Studded leather will cost you 45 gold pieces. Leather will cost you 10, and padded will cost you 5.
And the studded leather, but that +2 to my AC?
Yes, it will set your base AC to 12 plus your dexterity modifier.
45 gold, you say?
45 gold.
Well, seems like a mighty fine step up from the leather. You say that's 10 gold?
Yes, it is. It's a full 1 step up.
Yeah, but I mean the step up in price. I think maybe 35 might sound a bit more reasonable.
Make me a persuasion check.
Lines
are blurring.
are blurring. For the characters
That is a 20 on the dice, which is a 21 on the
Wow,
total.
he rolled a 19. So you can see that like his eyes circle through like green is like you're assuming just like happy and everything's fine. Circle through yellow for a second, which you can tell is like he's like deliberating on it, and they circle back to green, and he's like 35 gold pieces, and then just kind of like turns around very robotically, grabs some studded leather from the wall, and boom, places it on the counter for you.
So yeah, I slip it on, and yeah, I like hand him my my 50 gold gift voucher for the Spelljammer Academy mall, and I say, yeah, here you go. You can charge it to there. Just make sure I got the 15 left.
Sounds good. Well, what we could do is, if you would like to spend the rest of your money on darts, you won't have to track them for the rest of the campaign, and you'll always have a 1d4 thrown item. 1d4 piercing damage thrown item. I'll throw that deal in with you right now.
I'm getting the impression there's nothing better I could spend my money on.
Well, I mean, you could buy 3 hand axes, or 10 javelins, or 5 maces, or
just throw
1
maces at
long
people.
sword. And he's just like turning around with like all these weapons, or 3 tridents, or 1 warhammer, or 1 blowgun.
What's blowgun?
A blowgun does 1 piercing damage and uses the loading property. It does not seem good, but if you want it, then you could definitely do some shenanigans with it in the future.
No, it's okay. I think I misunderstood its purpose.
Oh, I do not understand the needs of mortal beings.
All right, then. I guess I'll take the endless supply of darts.
Sounds good. And he just like turns around with like this giant box of darts and pushes it over to you. And is like, have fun with your darts. If there's anything else.
I like to imagine that this is more like a pouch that would only fit like 2 or 3 darts, but it's just like a bag of holding that's full of darts.
Yeah, and nothing else can go in it, just darts.
Yeah, I'm not lugging around like a big ass box of darts, so that's the way we're doing it.
The opening of it is like you can put a dart in there, or you can pull a dart out of it, but like there's nothing else that like it doesn't make sense for anything else.
You try to even like stick like a pencil in it, and the pencil just shoots right out. So you're like, wow, this is some very money. So with that done for the Spelljammer Corpse, we can get over to Spelljammer Cadets. So as Moncton glides down the building, Captain Plasmoid and Rallodan head down to the Nexus for basic training. So the Spelljammer Nexus is a exclusive training area for Spelljammer cadets. You walk in and you see that it's bustling with, you see less meatheads here and more what you would imagine to be caster types, more intelligent, wise, and charismatic people. And you see that there is a human with blonde, slick-backed hair, wearing like a fancy jacket, and they see you walk in, and you see that they say, we have more spelljammers to train, don't we? My name is Serth Abazine. Serth Abazine. And
Hi,
I
Seraph Abazine.
am your training officer. As he just pauses and looks to you guys to see your response.
Hi, Seraph Abazine. I'm Captain Plasmoid.
Captain Plasmoid, is it? How have you gained the rank of captain already? And you can see he kind of like nudges your shoulder as like, you know, he's kind of being playful with a Plasmoid who really doesn't understand social constructs very well. It's like talking to a toddler.
I've always been a captain.
Always been a captain. Wow. Now that sounds like you'll make a mighty fine spelljammer, doesn't it?
I sure think I will.
And he turns to you, Raladan, with like a bit more reservation. It's just like, and you are?
My name is Raladan Stonesong.
Well, Raladan and Captain Plasmoid, today we're going to take a look at how to operate training helms and guide the movement of miniature test ships. So you're going to want to come over here. And you see that there's a room with a couple other cadets who have these helmets on, and there's tables with these miniature ships, and they're just kind of like gliding around. And he says, here, put this helmet on, and puts it on Captain Plasmoid, and then comes over and sticks it on you, Raladan. And he comes over to you, Captain Plasmoid, and says, what life event in your past drove you to live in this moment right now?
I stare blankly at him. I say, I'm sorry, I just simply don't remember.
And he says, perfect. Now channel that emptiness in your mind. And you can actually see that as you're focusing on this just like blank void in your mind, that you start to experience a strange sensation. It's more akin to thinking about moving a limb, or in your case, an appendage, rather than operating controls. You can see that your ship starts to float up. And then he's like,
I'm doing it.
That's amazing, Captain Plasmoid. And then he turns over to Raladan and he says, tell me where you wish to be 1 year hence. What shall the cosmos make of you?
I wish to stand at the helm of my own ship.
Well, perfect. Channel that want, and you too will be able to guide your ship into the cosmos. And as you focus, Raladan, your ship doesn't move. And you see that Sereth's face falls a bit, and he says, oh, we might have a bit of a late bloomer on our hands. Can you do any magic?
Yes.
You can? And
yes, I have.
do you
I would. Okay, hold on a second. I would like to cast disguise self on myself.
Okay. So you channel your innate ability to the furbolg nature, the natural wild magic that allows you to channel these effects. And what do you turn into with your disguise self?
The first thing that comes to Raladan's mind is one of his new companions, the one that isn't here. I'd like to turn into Moncton.
So he looks at you and he says, very strange. What we have here is a wildling. So it seems as though you have an innate ability to cast magic, though you do not have the other traits of a spellcaster. You may have to keep working at this in order to really get your spell jamming chops. But why don't you give it one more try? Something inside your mind holds you back. What is it? Speak.
Perhaps it is my reticence that holds me back.
And he says, perfect. And now make me we'll say an Arcana check.
Okay. That's an 8.
It's an 8. You can see that your ship wobbles and then tips over. And he says, a spark. But you have much work yet to do. And you guys work with him for a couple more minutes back and forth as he just like asks you more random questions and watches to see what the miniature ships do. But at the end, he grips both of you by the hand or the appendage and says, if you ever have any questions about spell jamming, you can always find me down here. And then you guys go to meet back up with your friend Moncton. And you guys meet up somewhere. I imagine that you know that your last thing to do is the gymnasium. So you guys head down or down towards the gymnasium, just as Moncton is heading up in his newly fitting studded armor and his infinite dart belt. And you guys are able to enter the gymnasium now with your cadet uniform.
Nice armor, Moncton. I love it. It's very punk rock.
Gee, thanks, man. I'm pretty fond of it myself.
So you can see that in the gymnasium, it's this, it looks essentially like a training course, and you can see that cadets are doing all sorts of things. They're like, doing chin-ups, climbing ropes. You can see that, that there are different like configurations happening. It's almost like a danger room. You can see some like making a dash. You hear like explosions going off. You see a couple like leaping across levitating pools over electric water. Leaping across levitating platforms over pools of electrified water. And as you walk in, you can see that another GIF sees you guys and says, "Cadets, fall in!"
Cool.
Fall in.
Fall into what?
Do
I get
not
really
fall into
excited,
the
don't I?
electrified water. I mean, come here
Jump
right
off.
now.
All right. Okay, we fall in.
So you guys join.
I have a question.
What
in
is
amongst
it,
the
cadet?
No, I'm sorry, not for you. Just for the voice in my head. Do I see the elf girl that picked a fight with me?
You do see the elf girl. She's halfway through the obstacle course. Okay. So you guys join a queue of other cadets that are at the beginning of the obstacle course. So would you guys like to determine the order yourself in terms of who's going first, or roll initiative?
Initiative.
Okay, everybody.
Yeah, initiative works.
Everybody roll me initiative.
I got a 6.
Got a 14.
I got 4.
Okay, so Raladan, you're up first. You're
Okay.
The first stage of this trial is it just seems like it's like this plain steel floor, but you can tell that this is where the explosions are coming from. The sounds of explosions at the very least. And you see the GIF is like, "Sprint across that floor, cadet."
Okay. I would like to sprint across the floor, but I would just like to let you know that my fighting style is blind fighting. You have blind sight within a range of 10 feet. Within that range, you can effectively see anything that isn't behind total cover, even if you're blinded or in darkness. Moreover, you can see an invisible creature within that range unless the creature successfully hides from you. Now, I don't know if that applies to invisible objects as well.
Cool.
But
So essentially what happens
just-
here, you're expecting invisible objects, so you like kind of close your mind or close your eyes and reach out with your mind to feel these obstacles and begin running. And then you are just rocked by a shockwave and the sound of an explosion going off right beside you. So make me a Constitution saving throw.
Sounds good. That's a 7.
That's a 7. You get blown off your feet and take 2 thunder damage as you stumble to the side. And he says, "Try it again, cadet." And you line up behind your party members.
Sounds good.
So, Moncton, I believe you're next. Make me a Constitution saving throw as you begin your dash across the floor.
I'm going to toss Moncton a little compliment. And I can't think of anything nice to say about him right now, but he does get a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Nice. That's the 16 on the con. It was just was it con saving throw?
Yeah. So you run across, rocked by an illusory explosion, but you're able to get across. And he says, "Well done, cadet." And then Captain Plasmoid.
Yeah, I'll have a run at it. I'm in human form right now, like humanoid shape form.
Cool.
Con save.
Yep.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. So as you're running, you like flow with the shockwave. Like, you know, the shockwave explodes beside you and your body kind of like flows like water around the shockwave, absorbing some of the impact, snapping back, and then you're able to keep on running. And you see the GIF man is like, "That's some of the best I've ever seen on this drill." And you can see that the moon elf who
Thank you so much. That means so much to me.
who just finished her the second platform kind of like looks back at you, glares.
I wave.
So Raladan, go ahead and make me another con save as you run across.
Sounds good. That's a nat 20.
Okay. So taking another stab at it again, you absolutely no-sell the illusory explosion. And the GIF instructor is like, "If you did that on the first time, I would have said that was some of the best running you've ever done."
I'm fair enough.
Moncton, now you are tasked with leaping across levitating platforms over pools of electrified water. You can make me either a strength athletics check or a dexterity acrobatics check.
I'll go with the dex acrobatics. That is 21.
Cool. So you jump from platform to platform deftly above this electrified water. Good job, cadet. Move on to the next one. Go, go, go. And Captain Plasmoid, your athletics or acrobatics check?
Acrobatics. Oh, that's so close to being a 20. 18.
18. So you both clear that second platform fine. Raladan, your turn. Athletics or acrobatics?
All right. Either way, it's +2. Ooh, that's an 8.
That's an 8. So you jump one, jump the second, and then boom, fall short, catch yourself, slip, boom, fall into the pool of electrified water, shock for a second as the electricity courses through your body, take 2 lightning damage, and then the electricity in the water turns off, and you're able to go back up and line up. But the GIF is like, "Come on, cadet, if you fail one more of these, you're going to fail this, and you're going to be swabbing text for the rest of the orientation."
Oh, dear.
Okay, so then, Moncton, you are now swinging from ropes through a spinning wheel of maces. So go ahead and make me
Swinging
a
ropes?
dexterity saving throw.
You should definitely have advantage on this.
I will give you advantage on anything swinging from rope related, just because you are a monkey.
Yeah. All right. So you said this is a dex saving throw?
Yeah.
I'll take the advantage on that. Oh. All right. So that's 22.
22. Again, just like one hand over the other. You do it perfectly. Well done, cadet. Captain Plasmoid.
Yeah, I'll go
Dex
for it.
saving
Was it
throw.
an acrobatic again?
Dex saving throw.
Oh, it's saving? Okay, cool. Wait, I'm going to roll again. I'll roll my dex. Oh, I have dex saving. Sorry. Oh, 9.
9. So you're you get from one to the next, and then you just watch as one of the maces swings around and kind of like just like absolutely like it looks like it would brain someone, but and kind of splatters Captain Plasmoid's form, and you take 2 bludgeoning damage, fall down, and have to restart the training course or the this stage. Raladan.
Yeah.
Strength or athletics or acrobatics?
It's a nat 20 either
Nat
way.
20. So
Look, okay, I just need 2 goes at it, and then I'm really good at it.
you see the gif is like, this boy likes his punishment, doesn't he? As you get across and move on to the spinning wheel of maces. And now it is back to Moncton. So now you're tasked with climbing a slippery pole and ringing a gong at the top. So make me an athletics check.
Okay. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I missed the table completely. So that's a 16 plus
That's a
whatever
16.
my...
So you...
hang on, let me just check athletics.
That 16 will be fine. So, hand over foot. You struggle a little bit more with this one. You kind of get a couple up and then slip down an inch and then continue up, ring the gong. And you slide back down, and the GIF kind of like walks over to you and says, "That's some of the best course running I've ever seen," and claps you on the shoulder, and you get inspiration.
Cool.
So you can check that on your sheet, and inspiration can be used to re-roll a roll or negate a crit, I believe.
Okay. I just say back to him that I'm just like, that was just my first time running a course. You see me do that again and again. It's gonna be the best you ever seen it.
Well, you're going to be a joy to have around here if you keep on showing us stuff like that. And then he turns over to scream at Captain Plasmoid, who is doing the mace wheels. And he's like, "Let's move, cadet!"
Let's try. 10.
10. Does that pass? So again, 1, 2, 3, boom, mace. So you take a second 2 piercing damage. I'm not sure if I told you to take 2 piercing damage before, but you are now at 4 piercing damage. Cool. And you see that.
Am I doing this wrong?
You're only doing it wrong by being a lazy little landlubber who's never gonna get up into space. So one more failure, and you are scrubbing the deck with your friend. Raladan, back up.
Well, at least I'll be with my friend.
Nope. I got a 21
on your dex saving throw. So you blow past Monk. You you're up next. You see Captain Plasmoid gets splatted by it, and this inspires you to get across and land. And you see that the drill sergeant, he's just like quivering and looking at you, and just like a vein pulsing and being like, "Get up that pole!"
Oh no!
So Captain Plasmoid, one more time at the spinning wheel of maces.
Here we go. 7.
So you get hit, boom, one more time, 2 more piercing damage, whistle blows, and he says, "Get over here, cadet!" And you see that there are a couple like dejected looking cadets who are patching their wounds, sitting over in the corner.
When he says "Get over here, cadet," There is no response, nor is there any movement.
Oh, are you unconscious?
Yeah.
So you see that he comes up. So you're not dying. You're just unconscious. And you see he motions to one of the cadets, and he's like, "Get that boy up!" And you see the other cadet look at his friends like, "How the fuck do I get this pool of ooze up?" And you see that he goes over and gets like a mop and a bucket and mops you up into the bucket. And wheels you over to the corner where you stay in the bucket. And then Raladan, you get your one chance. Climb up a slippery pole and ring a gong at the top.
Athletics?
Yes.
That's a 14.
Okay, so you hand over hand, like slip down a bit, hand over hand, slip down, hand, bang, ring the gong, and as you slide down, the drill sergeant's like, "I'm gonna need some better work from you in the future, but good job." Just kind of like disgruntledly, and then spits over to the side, and he says, "Get your friend up and have him report back to me tonight. He's going to be mopping all night because he made his cadet friends mop him up." So you wheel Captain Plasmoid out of the gymnasium in a bucket towards the cadet quarters where you guys are going to go and have dinner and wait until tomorrow. And that's where we're going to end the first session of Spelljammer Academy.
Whoa.
That was fun stuff, guys. We'll be back with some more Spelljammer Academy shenanigans on August 7th. But until then...
2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Until then, I hope everybody has a wonderful life.
Arcane Bye.
Arcane Bye. Yeah, thank you. That's my new sign off. See ya.